Get Gains Episode 2, featuring yours truly, Bobby Gaines. And as I'm actually, in the process of doing this, just because I would like to kind of get started, as I am, how you say, I don't know, just checking things out, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I'm getting the word out to my two fans out there. I'm sure, everybody's just hanging on my every word right now, but yeah, feel free to make yourselves comfortable, make yourselves at home. Last episode ran about an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know if we're going to go that long this time, but that's kind of the fun thing about this is you don't know. And I am still paying attention to your comments. I'm just checking things out, seeing if everything's going hunky-dory here on the stream, getting some last-minute things in order. I know you'd think I'd be prepared for this, but as usual, I expect some kind of snafu, maybe, who knows, just living life to the fullest. So, hope you are doing well. Like I said, first few minutes are usually kind of slow because I'm just kind of waiting for people to show up, and it's kind of hard to have a discussion thingy without people talking and discussing. And granted, this was a little more fun when we had Christmas or something bigger to look forward to right now. Not a whole lot, but I did make some announcements in the last episode. I'll make a couple more today. And, yeah, this is, the floor is yours. Well, technically the floor is mine, but if you did tune in, which so far it looks like nobody has, but if you did tune in, then you already kind of know what to expect. But don't expect me to be this, calm and reasonable for the whole time, because all manners of things can happen, and then I'll start going off the rails, and it's kind of the fun of it. So that's a great video thumbnail, isn't it? So anyway, again, just bear with me here. You will have my undivided attention in but a few seconds. So I'm sure it's going to be just so intense that I can't even believe it. Did I just close out of my stream? I did not. Alright, 0, it means 0. That is pretty conclusive. I don't know if, what do you call it? Crap, I can't move. Can't move. Why can't I move? There we go. Go ahead and just post this real quick. If people are watching, then good for them. If they're not, then I don't know what to tell you. Because that's just the way it goes around here. But I digress. Live on the internet. Anything goes. I get these stupid little pop-ups now. I don't know if anybody gets these. Like, because I downloaded something I wasn't supposed to download. Hey, what's up? Say goodbye. I was going to say, do I say your real name? Your real name shows up right there, so we're not really hiding anything. But I'll still call you Say Goodbye for old school purposes. Bring back Revolution. Yes, the revolution continues. Some 10 years later, it seems like we'll never give up that cause. Some may argue that I already tried Revolution when I tried Frostbite, but then that was later refuted, so who really knows. But I digress. Let's see. How you doing, Shay? Everything good in the world of you? I don't know if the stream is coming in all right. Still relatively new to the streaming as it pertains to actual talking stuff. In terms of, whatchamacallit, like video games and stuff, it seems to work okay. But in terms of this is a whole new thing I'm trying. This basically replaces my monthly rants, because my monthly rants were pretty much just this, but with, I feel like this adds at least another layer to it, in case I run out of stuff to say, which often happened. Now I have kind of a back and forth dialogue, if you will. So, Revolution, of course, is the Mountain Dew flavor, one of the 27 flavors that they just kind of leave in a refrigerator somewhere, downtown Oregon. I have no idea where it is, to be honest. But, yeah. Having 2 days off from work and then the weekend off. I'm actually surprised that's all you're having off. I'm assuming things are better in your area as far as the you-know-what is going. I refuse to acknowledge it because it's just so all over the place right now in the news, in the sports world. That's all you hear about is the you-know-what thing that is keeping everybody from doing anything. And understandably so. But that's a crisis. So, I like to keep things light in these crisis situations. You notice I don't really bring it up in any of my gaming videos or any of my other videos. I try to make things as usual as possible. And let's face it, I wasn't exactly, a billionaire. I wasn't exactly having an eccentric lifestyle before this, so this hasn't really changed a whole lot. If anything, it's just forced you guys to watch more of my videos, which I'm a little disappointed more people haven't, because now you're at home. You have no excuse. So I'm watching. I'm paying attention to the analytics numbers. That used to be the thing I would do. Back in my really old days, like 2008, 2009, I would go, okay, in April of 2009, we got 407 views, which is down 5%. I'm a full-time now. Oh, that's right. Oh, you work at a hospital now? I know that you used to do like hospitality stuff, which is not to be confused with that, which is where you worked at a hotel, but holy crap, how's that how's that working? Wow. I never really had a quarantine. Yeah, I'd imagine the entertainment business is dead. Same here with DJ Chaos. Currently hanging up the turntables for the time being, and they are all in the garage. All my DJ stuff is currently not in use, obviously. Geez. Hospital, damn, you gotta really be safe there. That is obviously the hotbed of where it's at. Already I'm off to a good start. Actually, I'm glad you're here because one announcement I am going to make, and I was going to wait till more people were here, but I could just make it again. June of 2020, or sometime next month, I will be re-releasing Blockbusted in its entirety. So before I had like an 8-part video, and there were a couple glitches with it, a couple things I'm going to try to kind of iron out just to make the experience a little more streamlined. But in celebration of the 10-year anniversary of Blockbusted, if you can believe that, I'll be re-releasing the entire movie with some of the audio issues fixed and just one video, so you don't have to go clicking around for 8 parts. So it'll be one 80-minute video. I know my friend Frankie probably will enjoy that because I think he watches it anyway. Now he won't have to do that. And in addition to that, I'll be doing a live stream, just like I did with Crash Daniels. I'll be doing a live stream where I watch the movie and, I make comments and answer questions if there are any, which I kind of doubt because that's about how the Crash Daniels stream went. But that is an option. That is something I'll be doing. I'll have more on that in the June episode of Net Gains, obviously. That's probably the biggest announcement I'll be making today, although there is one other one. A little hard to make announcements right now when, the Mall Tour is kind of frozen. I did release Mall Tour 1, the first episode of 2020. I released Westfield Garden State Plaza in New Jersey. I released that back a couple weeks ago now. So if you haven't seen that yet, check it out. It's the only Mall Tour so far, obviously. And it was a really fun one. I wanted to talk about that a little bit since we got time. And it doesn't look like I'll be talking about too much else. Let me just... There we go. So yeah, I hired a hospital 2 years ago. I'm an operations manager for a department there. I faced oh god, that really sucks, man. I mean, I'm glad that's anyone who works at a hospital. I'm like, whew, God bless, but that's got to be tough. And I don't take it for granted. As much as some people will complain. They have to stay home all the time. Yeah, sometimes it gets to you, but you're just thankful that you have your family, your friends, healthy, safe, and a lot of that is because of people like yourself who work in hospitals and keep things running, and so that's excellent that you do that, obviously, and we all wish you the best, and by we all, I mean me and Frankie. I don't know. But, geez, it makes my announcement seem kind of like lame now, huh? It's like, oh yeah, I'm re-releasing Blockbuster, and by the way, say goodbye, saving the world, but, whatever, we'll just forget about that. I should have brought a Mountain Dew. I've got Frostbite upstairs. Also got the guitar behind me, and I like to use props in some of these things. Last episode got kind of screwy with some of the stuff that Frankie and other people were requesting me to do. So you guys know I'm pretty chill on these things. Last year, some of the Christmas streams involved me, like, playing with toys that had nothing to do with the Christmas setup. I don't know. I'm highly suggestible. I'm basically like a dog without a bone. Like, I'm just looking for something to do, both literally and sort of metaphorically. So it's like, yeah, here we are. It was nice of you to stop in, though, Say goodbye. I don't know if you have any questions for me before I get to the second announcement, which is really nothing great. I don't even know if the first announcement was all that great. But let's see how my announcements are going over with the folks at home. But yeah, don't know. The day before Easter, I woke up with a crazy panic attack from the situation. Couldn't breathe and was coughing like crazy. Found the virus. Oh, good. Whew. Yeah, no, that's the other thing now is people get worried now. Even if you get sick, even if you don't have it, you think you have the virus, and it turns out to be something else. It's not the virus, but still, glad that you're negative on that. And Easter was fun. I'm glad you mentioned Easter. Not because of that, but because Easter is actually my 4th favorite holiday. It's something I don't really talk about, but it is my 4th favorite holiday, which honestly, it's a limited field of holidays that I really get excited about. It's pretty much just Christmas and everything else, but Easter is in there. And I do enjoy Easter. It always comes at a time when I really need it. I think we all really need it, whether this was going on or not. It's just a nice little break in the action after, you know, a few months back to work, or in my case, a couple months back to work, because I'm currently not working at the moment, but that's a whole thing I'm not even going to really get into. And yeah, that is kind of how that went. Easter itself was fun. Went over Nani's, put out a short video. A lot of the holidays kind of feel the same. Like, other than Christmas, which I kind of proceed with a bunch of ceremony, they all kind of feel the same. Like, I feel like I could go over Nani's on like a Thursday, and it would just be like, Happy Thursday. Yeah, Happy Thursday, Nani. And, you know, of course, my parents were there. We had some good food, good dessert. Just like I've said before, and now it really doesn't hold any weight, but sometimes it's just nice to have a day off. But I've had too many days off, and it doesn't really matter. But other than that, you know, I love Easter. I love what it represents religiously and what it represents family-wise. Any holiday shares that, which I like. Other than maybe Halloween. Like, every holiday has that family feel to it. Like, even if you're not religious, it's like a day to see your family that maybe you don't see all the time. So from that perspective, I've always liked holidays, as you guys know. It's a shame most of us don't really see our families except for holidays. Maybe once in a while you get together for something, but you know, we have these little checkpoints in life: Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, maybe 4th of July. Did they at least give you unemployment or something to keep you? Yeah, no, there is unemployment, thankfully. They're slow because everybody in the state, other than the medical workers, are filing for it. Even our casinos are closed, and those are huge. So, I mean, I'm sure the Mohegan Sun up your way is closed as well. So a lot of people all flooding the system, but they are getting their benefits, including me. So got something coming in, not as much, but actually sometimes it is as much. It's kind of screwy like that. And assuming this doesn't go on more than like another, you know, few weeks, a month, and who really knows, but assuming it doesn't go on that much longer, I mean, it's hard to believe I'm saying this, but I can't wait to get back to work and get back to weddings and just kind of, you know, doing my thing, because it was a big part of my routine. I kind of forget about it now, but, you know, working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, or looking for other jobs, you know, that was kind of part of my thing where, you know, it was something to do. It was a goal, it was a job, it was a way to talk to people, meet people, and just, you know, make money. And now, you know, still making money by virtue of unemployment, but the other stuff is kind of gone, and I'm trying to kind of replace it with these online interactions, which are still kind of fun, actually. Actually very fun. So whether or not this happened, I was going to do this net gain series anyway. This is kind of something I've always wanted to do. For years, I've been doing these rants by myself. Let's see if I can temporarily simulate what I would usually do. So I would usually come in here, and I'd be like, over here, I'd be like, what's up, everybody? It's August, not August, I keep saying August. It's May 2020. We got a lot of great stuff coming up from bioproduction, so let me know in the comments below. Christmas is coming in 7 months. You know, that kind of stuff. That's what I remember doing. So now we've kind of modernized it for the new generation, so to speak. Now we get to talk to the host one-on-one, whether we want to or not. Let's just face it, I mean, I could go either way on me. I think we've all heard enough of my voice over the past, God, what has it been, like 14 years now? Like, it's pretty crazy, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I hope you're, you know, doing okay and staying healthy. I feel like I'm like a grandfather. I feel like I'm like, well, Sonny, you know, all you can hope for is your health in these crazy times. And, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I digress. But, yeah, I digress. Let's see what we got on the old chat board. Still nothing. Alright, well, I guess I'll go ahead and speak about the other announcement, as small as it may be. And most of these announcements are going to be related to things like I mentioned the blockbusted comeback, which isn't really a comeback, it's just me putting out the first movie again, complete with, you know, a few less glitches, and basically just going to work on that, because there's not as much to tweak on that. Whereas Crash Daniels had, like, it was recorded on an old VHS camera. I had to do a little bit of work on that. This is still HD. It's still pretty good quality video. It's just a matter of tightening a few things up and then making it one big video. I'm still excited for it because Blockbusted was a huge part of my video career. Seems weird saying that, but 10 years ago, Blockbusted was huge. And I'm going to talk about that in some future videos, and then I'm going to re-release it. I'm sure it won't get any more views than I got the first time, but, you know, it's just kind of, it'll be cool to have it, you know, in a more relevant sense, if that makes any sense. Like, it'll still be there. It'll be a nice little thing for me to reminisce with my friends about. And that's kind of what 2020 was going to be about anyway, because there's a lot of big anniversaries coming up. Getting your own place, gotta have your own spot. Yeah, oh God, I know, right? Well, that's, you know, that's been a dicey thing even before all this, is, you know, scraping up that kind of money. And that is definitely in the future. That is something that I do realistically look forward to, but I don't know. When you say soon, I don't know, you know, if I can give you a timetable on that, but, you know, there's some pros and cons to it all, and, having the ladies over, yeah, that'll be very nice, to say the least. But, yeah. So, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I do know that, well, it's been a good run. It's been a good little run I've had here. See if I've missed anything. Not missed anything. Debating playing a little guitar, I don't know. Like I said, these videos will only be as long as people want them to be. So last episode was like an hour 15, which was actually a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But that's only because I had like 4 people chatting at the same time. And I mean, I'm open to talk about pretty much anything. I did not see me having the ladies question over coming up, but I mean, I'll address whatever. You know, certain topics I might not, but I digress. Let me see. Maybe I'll grab a Coke. I'm a little thirsty right now. I used to have whiteout on hand, but that ain't happening anymore. Oh, great. I just went to McDonald's today, picked up a Coke. It's one of the few things you can still count on, is that they will still be at McDonald's. Yeah, so Shay Goodbye's been with me since like the beginning, beginning. I can remember him back in 2006 when I started under the name of Lakers fan, and kind of just took off from there. And here we are. So, yeah. All right. Second announcement, because I don't know. There were only 2 things I was really going to announce, and then maybe I'll talk about stuff that happened last month, but the other announcement revolves around the mall tour. It's not a new mall tour, and we'll see how long that takes, but Democracy was similar. So, by the way, Voltage equals Distortion, Supernova equals Typhoon, Whiteout, and Revolution. Yeah, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of against the whole thing. I actually recorded that rant. I still got to edit it, though. The Mountain Dew kind of... It's actually a pretty tame rant, but I start to get angry toward the end of it, and I make some good points. I thought I used some facts. It's about a 12-minute rant. It's all about the Mountain Dew flavors and how I think they made too many and how they could maybe satisfy all fans or most fans by doing different things, and they're just too lazy to do it. And the flavors have just gotten out of control. Whether I like them or not, that's irrelevant, because, I could like a flavor that someone else doesn't like, and I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, you made a flavor I didn't like. Like, okay, that happens, but, it's more to the fact that they make so many of them, and then they tick people off by getting rid of them and make no attempt to bring them back. And it's like, then why'd you make it? But I digress. What was I saying before that? I don't know. We're almost 20 minutes into this, so at this point, people aren't showing up, they're not showing up. I get to a point where it's like, okay. So, other announcement, again, brief, mall tour related. I'm going to be doing a series, and this is going to get a little dicey now because I don't know what's going on with this mall tour season, but I'm going to do a series called Mall Memories. I don't know how often I'm going to put them out, but Mall Memories is going to actually consist of mall tour highlights from each individual mall, because I've been to so many of them now I could do that, and I've been to some of them 2, 3, 4 times. So, again, take Palisades, for example. Alright, I'm going to address his comment in a second, but take Palisades, for example, which is a mall I've been to 3 times, and again, I say I might wait on that one because I might go to it a 4th time this year or next year, but assuming I've already gone to it 4 times. Mall memories will basically be a highlight of all the times that I've been to that mall with some commentary, with some facts about it. Kind of like a more, I don't want to say refined, but a more organized mall tour. Like it's actually going to be what a mall tour should be. Like I'm going to talk about what the mall is, my favorite parts of it, maybe some of my least favorite parts of it, the people I went with. It's going to basically just kind of be like that. I guess a good example of a mall that I could probably do right now would be Cambridge Side Galleria. That was a really nice mall I went to back in 2018 that I don't see me going to again just because it's kind of an annoying drive, and even though I could go to it, and it was a nice mall, I think it had its day, so I think that could get its own dedicated segment. Same with some of the other malls. Some malls I've only been to once or twice, and I think that that's enough to get the gist of it. So basically, you know, because this is Mall Tour 2020, the final season, and I stuck by that. I said that in my last video, that no matter how long this whole pandemic situation goes on for, this will be the final season of the mall tour. I'm not ruling out extending it to 2021, but it's still going to be the same season, if that makes sense. Like, I'm going to keep going until I'm done, basically. So however many malls I want to go to, I'm going to do it, and then that's going to be it. So there's not going to be a reset. There's not going to be a new mall tour season. This season, for better or worse, this is the last season. The only tweak I might make is changing the logo to say 2021. Like, I'm not even going to make a new logo. I'm just going to change that 0 to a 1 at the end. So that'll be your mall tour season, whatever. If it extends into next year, it extends into next year. That might actually be kind of funny. I've never actually done a mall tour in January or February. I've done a mall tour in almost every other month. In fact, I want to say I have. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I've done mall tours in all those months. I've never done one in January. Where am I going with this? So basically, the 2 announcements, and you'll be seeing these throughout the summer and throughout May for the mall tour memories. Mall memory series, kind of looking back at some, actually all the malls. I'm not going to say my favorite malls. I'm going to literally do every mall I was going to get, even if it's just a few minutes. I'm going to kind of just talk about it. Because these are things that happen, you know? A lot of times I do the mall tours and they're over and that's it. You know, like who really remembers, Brass Mill Center, that was a great mall tour. Well, I'm going to remember it. I'm going to actually do a whole segment on the Brass Mill Mall back in 2017. I visited it with my friends Gabby and Angela. So, yeah, as you guys can tell, I have a pretty good memory for this stuff, even without the videos. So, it's cool to have the videos. It's cool to watch them again. It kind of gives me a chance to see it again. Kind of gives those mall tours a little more rejuvenation for the last time, because this is the last time, whether or not it ends immediately. This is the last mall tour, so this to me feels like a great way to close the book and like say, you know, hey, look, this was the time I went to Brass Mills. Here's what we did. It was fun. Here's some of the great parts of the mall. Here's some of the not so great parts of the mall. And I'm going to do that for every single mall. Some of them will have more than others because Emerald Square is in a unique situation, as everybody knows. Emerald Square Mall in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, has appeared on every mall tour dating back to 2009. So there's a lot of history to dig through there. And technically, if you want to really get into it, the first time I went to Emerald Square Mall was in 2005. Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, this is the podcast. This is where we talk about stuff that nobody asked about. This is Net Gains, featuring Bobby Gaines. Pretty much anything is on the table. I was just making some announcements that pretty much nobody cares about, but I was announcing the re-release of Blockbusted in June of 2020, and also an ongoing series I'll be starting called Mall Tour Memories, which will be kind of going on throughout the year. I don't know when the first one will be out yet. Those are the 2 kind of announcements that I'm hanging out there right now. And then we were talking about April, where I had the release of the first Mall Tour video, getting people's reviews on that, what they thought of it. I actually haven't even told you what I thought of it, but who really cares? And then I was going to address Shay Goodbye's question, who's also in the stream with you, talking about how Mountain Dew is removing permanent flavors, which I agree completely delegitimizes, if that's even how you say that. It completely just ruins the idea of permanent flavors if you just get rid of them willy-nilly, like, oh yeah, we're going to keep this one. What are you doing with that? What are you doing with that? See, the problem with the stream is that there's like a lag, so I don't know what sentence I said when you said that. But if you mean the mall tour in general, I did just address this. Oh, hey, Shay Goodbye. See, Shay Goodbye's got a following. I didn't make him up. In fact, he's using his real name, so I'm not even saying his real name, but his username is his real name, so that's on him. I'm trying to keep anonymity here. I'm not saying anybody's name, but you know, I don't say anybody's name. I'm Bobby Gaines, and you know, I don't say anybody's name. That has been considered. That has been considered. Oh, what am I doing with Blockbusted? So like I said, it's not a remake, it's not a Final Fantasy VII remake, but I am going to re-release it because the original Blockbusted was broken up into 8 parts and it's just very hard to find and cumbersome, so I'm going to cut those parts down into one 80-minute video, and I'm going to improve some of the little technical issues I had with it so that hopefully it'll be more watchable, so now when people don't watch it, it's just on them, it's not on me. And I'll be doing that in June, and I'll also be doing a live stream, a live watching with my one fan. I don't need no anonymity. That's right, actually, you are a professional performer. In fact, I made you a poster once. Back in college. It wasn't even a school assignment. I just like, hey, you know what? I think I can make you a logo. I really like that logo. But I digress. Yeah, no. 2020 is kind of this weird anniversary year because I did a lot of stuff in 2010, so I like my anniversaries. It's also the last year of the mall tour. It's, you know, the next year and a half or so are going to be kind of these little schmaltzy rememberings of things that I used to do. Not that I won't do new things. In fact, that's why I liked the birthday bash so much a couple years ago. My birthday bash in 2018, when I did the 20-year anniversary celebration. It was just really funny. We should remake Crash Daniels. Yeah, as soon as we can go outside. Why Crash Daniels? And what do you mean we? You weren't even in the original one. And you're not even here. Like, the only people who were in it I know aren't going to want to do it. I've considered that, but even then, I'd probably just make a new one. I wouldn't go through that whole script again, you know, no, actually, that's a whole other story, because I re-released that last year, and when I watched it, I'm like, wow, this was really kind of corny. Like, there's a lot of stuff. There's like 2 funny lines in the whole movie, so like I could just imagine us doing this again, and some of my co-stars being like, do we really have to say that? And I'll be like, yes, it's in the script. It's like, why couldn't we make a new one? Because Kokoro-sama wanted us to remake this one. So, anyway. I hear the garage door. Sounds like my dad is likely home. But I digress. So yeah, that's why we need to remake till prices roll if we give them food. Just opened a Baja Blast. Would you have in mind for a new tour series or food review? I don't know if I had anything in mind, but see, I don't know how I could. Oh, hey, what's up, Mikado? Mikado Najima. I actually said that remarkably fluently. Yeah, what will you review? I don't know yet, and I also don't know how to really film those. You know, it's one thing to go into a mall where it's kind of like a bigger setting, and I can kind of just walk around and have a little independence. But like when you're in a restaurant, you're just kind of sitting there, and you know, especially if I try something I don't like, I don't really want to be on camera, like in public, going, "Oh, this food sucks." Like I feel like that might not be, that might, you know, tick off some staff. Like it's, so I gotta really be careful about what I do. I did like Shakabai's idea about food reviews, like instead of Mountain Dew reviews, do the, like, you would suggest Oreos, but I don't really like Oreos. I'd have to find something else, like maybe chips or something, maybe like weird flavors of chips I could try or something. But even that's not much of a series. I was thinking of doing a more full-fledged, like, restaurant tour, where I actually show cool stuff about the restaurant. You know, maybe everyone I go with gets a different dish and we talk about it, but I don't even know if that would do very well. And again, I feel a little weird being on camera in public going, I didn't really like this. Or even if I liked it, I just feel weird being like, this was amazing. Like, it just, believe it or not, I don't want to draw too much attention to myself on some of these things, so I have to be careful what I review. It's a little easier with a mall where it's a big crowd and you're not really paying attention to the guy in the elevator screaming things. What about theme park reviews? Theme park reviews are possible. The only problem is with theme park reviews, which is kind of the reason why I opted for the mall tours, is mall tours are cheap. I don't buy anything, ever. All I buy is gas. So theme park reviews, you know, if you want to pay my $100 ticket to get in, I'll totally do a video at a theme park and be like, I liked this ride or whatever. But mountain food is the thought. I like the thought of Parker is, or maybe even some video games. What is Parker is? Oh, what, like video game reviews? I have done video game reviews. I don't know, like, to me there's a difference between, you know, video game reviews or even movie reviews or even food reviews, because, like, people do food reviews. You know, me trying the Mountain Dew flavors is not really, yeah, I like parks. I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that's more unique to me, because, you know, people know me for the mall tour. They know me for the stupidity. You know, I mean, frick, 2 people from Rhode Island made a fake mall tour video because that's how absurd my reviews are. You know, me drinking a Mountain Dew and going, oh, that's pretty good, is really not unprecedented. Same thing with, you know, even the chips or different things. Restaurant reviews will get expensive, but at least with that, I only have to buy one dish. You know, I'm not going to buy the most expensive dish, and then maybe I have like a friend buy a different dish, and, you know, maybe that only costs us like $20, $25 or something. And I could do more of those. I could probably only do 2 theme park reviews a year because I don't really go to a lot of theme parks. The only theme park I really go to is Lake Compounce, which, I mean, I already make videos on Lake Compounce. And I don't know if it's even about the reviewing, because I don't really consider myself an expert on any of this. Like, it's not like I go in there like, okay, you know, I'm going to analyze the taste of the capers and the use of spice as it pertains to the taste buds. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, most of the videos, even the mall tour videos, aren't about like, oh, look at the post-1985 architecture. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just had nothing to do that day. So I don't know if the series, that's something I got to think about. It's not necessarily good. Yes, I mean, obviously that would be amazing, but I have done a few. See, I guess I might need to retitle I might need to retitle these videos because a lot of them aren't even tours. Tours would insinuate that we're going, you know, on a methodical look through of something. Whereas usually in the mall tour, it's, hey, look, an elevator. Like, it's not like I really do anything. Same thing when I go to baseball stadiums, because I do have a couple videos like that. I have a couple of Fenway Park videos. I have a couple videos at McCoy Stadium here in Rhode Island. And I don't really tour them so much as just go, oh, look, they have hot dogs. So, you know, I got to think, you know, about what that would be. Maybe it's not a series. Maybe it's just a couple times a year thing. Because that's always been the case, you know. The mall tour has just been the most pronounced thing I do. I do about, I don't know, 8 to 12 of them a year, it seems like lately, and, you know, they do well. Actually, the mall tours get more views than anything I have. I look at my top views every day, and the top 10 are pretty much all mall tours, like, in mall tours from, like, 3 years ago. Like, those are the ones still getting views. Theme parks would be pretty fun. I get that amount of money and stuff. Yeah, it's cool to check out, and I mean, I do like to do this stuff anyway. It's not like I just do it for a video, like, I've been going to theme parks. I've been going to theme parks since before you were born. Well, maybe not. I really don't know. Believe it or not, I had a series a number of years ago, and by series I mean it was like 3 episodes, called On the Road with, I don't know if we called him Tony D or Stan, my friend, who, it was literally that. We would just drive around, he'd make comments about stuff on the side of the road. It was pretty stupid, but it fit with what I do. Fast food item reviews, that's a possibility. It's a possibility. Again, I'd probably film those at home. I don't really want to be sitting there in the corner booth at Wendy's going, oh, this new Super Baconator is delicious. Again, that's just me. I have some dignity. Not a lot. But I digress. I do digress. Well, some of my usual people aren't here, but usually, at some point during the stream, and I only say this because I've done this 3 times, and all 3 times I did this, so at some point, I pick up the guitar. Or actually, at some point, I pick up any random thing laying around, but the guitar seems to be the most common thing that I pick up. And then I don't know, I just start playing crap. But I actually tuned it this time, so we'll see how long that lasts. What about a video on you and the... I do love that ride. Wait, River, are you talking about the, what do you call it, Thunder Rapids? Because I do love Thunder Rapids. I have a few videos of that. I wouldn't really call that a series. That's just so much as I have a waterproof camera, so when I take a ride on the Thunder Rapids, as I just smacked my keyboard again, when I take a ride on Thunder Rapids, I will bring my waterproof camera and get some funny footage. That's always good. I like that we're brainstorming at least. I don't know how many of these ideas will get used, but that's why we do it. But now that we have a few people, I can ask, how are you guys doing out there? Wherever you may be in the United States. View of... I'm not a big fair person. We have some fairs around here. Well, not this year, but they're all almost the same, you know. They rent the same 3 lousy rides. You know, the merry-go-round that makes it like through 1 lap before it starts breaking down. What else? I'll try it. I mean, I'm not against any of these ideas. I think right now it's just more of a matter of getting through the situation and then seeing what happens. Reviews of music albums, I've actually done that. I usually only do it with Maroon 5 albums, but I actually have a number of albums that I could do that with. Particularly with some of the more obscure bands I listen to, because it's not just Maroon 5. But I'm an obscure YouTuber, so I don't know if me giving praise to an obscure band is going to make them any more popular. Yes, no, I was referring to it. It's not my most reviewed video. I know what you're talking about. Thunder Rapids from 2014. It's my second most viewed video. Palisades, the Palisades Mall Tour from 2016 recently beat it, but they're like neck and neck. I want to say Palisades has like 17,000 views, and the Thunder Rapids one is close to that. Yeah, it is up there. That wasn't even a review, though. That was just me writing this stupid thing. And I don't know why that one gets like 17,000 views, but then the other times I went on that ride, it gets like 500 views. Like, it's just... I'll never understand YouTube. Because, like, I was even thinking about the Final Fantasy VII videos I've been putting out, because when I stream Final Fantasy VII, I export it to YouTube afterwards, so the entire game that I've played to this point is on YouTube with my commentary, and it's gotten, like, no views. Like, even though it's Final Fantasy VII, I thought by virtue of that it would get like 100 views. It's got like 2 views for a video with Cloud actually like doing stuff. Yeah, Bobby Gaines Reacts could be a thing. I feel like that's been done to death, and might have to get more resourceful with this era of me staying inside all the time. But yeah, I mean, that's a possibility with me reacting. I feel like it's only funny, though, if it's something really absurd and I just have, like, this dull look on my face the whole time. Otherwise, it's just somebody watching a music video. Which people like that stuff for some reason. I don't really know why. I would just rather watch the thing myself, but... Anyway. Not a bad idea. I'm trying to think of something more original. Because everybody does react videos, and the only people who are popular for doing them are people who are popular anyway. Like, Markiplier could do a react on a hot dog, and everybody would watch it, because it's Markiplier. If I eat that same hot dog, ain't nobody watching that hot dog. Oscar Mayer would probably lose money off that stuff. I have no doubt on that. Shakabye likes to give me like the worst possible stuff, because he still can't stop laughing from the time I tried Liberty Brew, which, let's face it, was terrible, so I don't know what he expected. Yeah, it's really weird. It's like we want to, like, because if you liked the product, you want to see if other people liked it. If you didn't like it, you want to feel validated and have other people on camera trying it and hating it. So, yeah, I can kind of get it. That's just who we are as people. We want to, like, feel like our opinion is shared by somebody or not shared by somebody. Oh, my memory card is full. That's the end of the video. Yeah, sometimes I try to record these while I'm streaming them. Even though I could just get the video off YouTube when it's done. I'm trying to think. What was I trying to think of? I'm trying to think of like what my most popular review was in terms of like a product. I think it was actually Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I think that got like 400 or 500 views. Other than that, my product reviews aren't any more popular than anything else I do. But yeah. Speaking of reviews, let's see how I like this McDonald's Coke. Delicious. Don't mind me, I just picked up the guitar because I was kind of bored. Even I'll admit I get bored by my own streams. The taste of Liberty Brew. Well, it certainly ain't Liberty. It's really weird. You know, the generic part of me wants to say it tastes like Windex because it looks like Windex. I've never actually devoured Windex, but it tastes bad. But it tastes bad in such a way that like it doesn't really have a flavor. Why not go to different towns? This whole thing is going to turn into these weird suggestions, like go to different libraries. We are here today at the library tour. Shh, sorry, we're here for the library tour. Like, that's going to be like every video now. It's going to be like, you know, you could go to bars, do bar review. Just picture me go to like a biker bar. And people like glaring at me as I'm using my selfie camera, being like, all right, guys, and it's Biker Tour 2020. Needless to say, there wouldn't be a Biker Tour 2021. Well, maybe I'll throw it out to you guys. What's your like favorite town in the area? You are here to help me get ideas. Because God knows the live streaming is only going to get me so far. It's a cool addition to the channel that I made starting last Christmas season. But, you know, it's funny you mention that because McDonald's Coke really does taste different than like regular Coke. I don't know why. It's like just, I don't know if they do anything to it. I don't know. Yeah, basically I don't know. But, hold on here. Yeah. Cities. Yeah, like what's your favorite? You were mentioning cities or towns. Like what would be, even if it's just in Connecticut, what would be like one of your favorite cities to visit or see? Just want to try to get this. I know the camera will eventually turn off if I don't like do stuff on it. McDonald's Sprite does taste different. It's good though. McDonald's Sprite and Coke are both very strong, I gotta say. So, just to reiterate for anyone who showed up, which I think was just Mikado, who showed up after everybody else, two big announcements for this stream. They weren't really that big. I'm re-releasing Blockbusted in June of 2020. It'll be a full release as far as the whole video will be one big 80-minute video. I'll fix some of the audio problems with it and just kind of make it more enjoyable for everybody. And it'll be more findable since it'll be, you know, newer. And in addition to that, I'm going to do a live watching of Blockbusted, because Blockbusted was a big part of my video career, and I think it's important to kind of revisit it. People who say Whiteout tastes like... Actually, it's funny you mention that, because I have a Squirt, and it is a good soda, but no, it's not Whiteout. It's not Whiteout at all, and any of my friends will know how much I love Mountain Dew Whiteout. Yeah, I digress. The other announcement I made, which I believe at least Shay Goodbye was here for it, was the Mall Tour Memories series, in which I'll be doing, like, after the fact reviews of mall tours that I've already been on. So, like, West Farms Mall I've been to a couple times. I'll do maybe a video that goes over some of that. It ain't Nugget Coke, though. Alright, looks like I know who got a hold of the computer now. Yeah, it's not Nugget Coke. It just sounds disgusting. It sounds like somebody dropped a chicken nugget into the Coke. Like, and it's just, you know, it's funny until you try to drink it, and then you're like, well, I'm drinking nuggets. Favorite fast food item? Whew. So from like a single restaurant, what's my favorite one? Probably the Baconator. Oh my God, yay. What's yay? I mean, I'm also excited about dropping a nugget into the Coke, but I'm not that excited about it. But yeah, there are some other great games I gotta stream. I'd say the Baconator is probably my favorite. I'm so watching it. You've already watched Blockbusted if that's what you're talking about. It's just going to be the same movie again. But I am going to do a live watching of it although I kind of need to not talk as much during that so people can enjoy the movie. Blockbusted as, you know, yeah, I know, Frankie was in it. I'm saying, like, Blockbusted to me, I actually like it a lot because of the plot twist at the end, which I won't spoil for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, but that's probably the only reason why I consider it, like, my best plot. Ooh, the Crunchwrap Supremes are good. I remember briefly Taco Bell had something called the Chick Star, which was like a, I don't know what you'd call it, but it was kind of like a, no, it wasn't like a Crunchwrap Supreme. It actually looked like a star, and it had like little chicken things in it. It was really good. Nugget Coke. All right, I'm jumping on that Nugget Coke bandwagon. Hoping to have a little more new content for 2020, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen outside of the streams. And I am streaming some great games. Actually, Final Fantasy VII Remake has been fantastic. Also, Nier Automata will be continued at some point. The Blockbusted. Yes, the Blockbusted. Because this is the 10-year anniversary for that. And what else? Just a lot of gaming stuff. I say yay to the Blockbusted. I think you'd be one of the 4 people on Earth who did. So, appreciate your patronage there. Blockbusted was a pretty great movie. It ended up turning out a lot better than it initially was. It was supposed to be just kind of a quick little throwaway thing. Maybe not throwaway, but this was before I hyped it up. Like, the original concept was going to be just Frankie and I doing kind of a short little thing, which then evolved into a bigger thing to the point where I said, you know what? I'm going to announce this as my formal coming out of retirement project and be, you know, this basically 90-minute movie. I think it's like a little over 80 minutes. And, you know, it has everyone's little favorite moments. You know, Frankie actually made me a shirt about it. I don't know if I have that shirt on me. That'd be kind of a funny little Easter egg if I did. I'm going to put the guitar down because it's really serving no purpose. This is the same guitar I got in 2015, by the way, during my birthday bash. I just had it, too. Maybe I wore it the other day. Shirt that Frankie made me that was actually extremely clever. And it references one of the many lines of that movie that wasn't even supposed to be in that movie, but just, you know, Frankie's improv, let's just say, is on another level. I know at least one person knows what line I'm talking about. To this day, it still makes no sense. But I digress. It'll be funny. It'll be funny just to see a couple things, because I've rewatched it a couple times. One thing that I find funny that has almost nothing to do with the movie is how shaggy my hair was back then. Like, 2010 and 2011 especially, I had like this really shaggy hair. And so like I'm watching it and I'm like, wow, I really just like was on a completely different page. Nier Automata. Do I drink coffee? I don't really drink coffee. I don't want to say I've never. Excuse me, is this the Ray Romano show? No, that's down the hall. So let me tell you about Ray. He's a nice guy. Why does everybody think I sound like Ray Romano? It's not. I'm not Ray Romano. And nobody loves me. In fact, nobody loved him either. The title of the show was ironic. Because I've watched the show. Everybody loves Raymond. They didn't. Some people thought he was okay. I'd say overall his following was just kind of decent. But anyway, Vigets Bex, thanks for joining the show. It's okay if I say your name because your name is in your username. So that's how I do it. You know, because well, I'm still calling him Shay Goodbye, but it says Joseph right there. I don't know what to do about that. But, whew. Should I make all the announcements again for her since she just got here? I feel like I almost have to. I also don't want to. Because I feel like other than... I can't say her name either. Other than Mikado, really nobody reacted to the other ones. Screw hair. My hair started leaving. Have to make a phone call. Well, shoot. I do enjoy the Not Gonna Be Our Throats shirt. It seems like everybody's like further behind on this stream than other people. Just looks like you guys had a lot of fun making it, and I used to like doing that stuff back in the day or two. Wait, did you make movies as well? I didn't know you back then, but I know you mentioned you're into drama stuff. But yeah, this is... It seems like everybody is like on a different page here, like as far as... Pretty sure Also, I love seeing all the Sonic posters I got you. Yeah, they really are behind me, including the Sonic Mania poster. Well, you didn't get me the Sonic Mania poster, but I had that thing framed. The Metal Sonic poster, which I thought was great, that was like the first one I pulled after, you know, our constant love affair with Metal Sonic. And, yeah, no, I'll be back. That's what they all say. I don't know how much longer we're going to be on. I'm kind of just taking, I almost said customers. I'm taking viewers' questions. Of course, I've also got this really nice art book that came with Sonic Mania, which, you know, pretty much only one person cares about this other than me. And that's got some of the awesome artwork from the game. They really did a great job with this game. What was I talking about again? Call me Red Relicify. Oh, no, it's not Red Relicify. It's Red Relicify, right? Which, I don't... Is that a word? Is Relicify a word? I'm asking you, because you made it up. But I digress. I always thought it was Red Relicify. Didn't know you liked Sonic. Well, you gotta start paying attention then. No, I'm just kidding. Jeez. What else do I have? I still have, it's not on camera here, but I got Dreamcast and everything mounted up there from Christmas, because the Dreamcast is not exclusively Christmas. It's just great. Yes, me? These are my friends. I'm not reviewing Sonic 06. Like, Metal Sonic, Metal Sonic. I'm not reviewing Sonic 06. I understand why everyone wants me to. Phone now, be back soon. Alright, hope to see you soon. I don't know if I'll be here, but hopefully it's not an important phone call that takes forever, like me and my boss, Irv, but that's another story. Review Sonic 06. I was more of a Crash... Oh, Crash Bandicoot was fun. Spyro I never, like, got into too far. Make more, like, anime cosplay skits. Wait, what? I don't really cosplay, so how would that work? I mean, if you want to cosplay, then you can, but Dreamcast was way ahead of its time. Thank you! Thank you! I mean, I've only been saying that for like 20 years. First console with online gaming. It even had a peripheral that acted like the Wiimote 7 years before the Wii came out. It had an awesome selection of games in like 2 years. Sega single-handedly carried that console without the help of EA, without the help of a lot of third-party support, which a lot of people could say is that might be what killed it. But anyway, no, Dreamcast was definitely ahead of its time. They were like 3 years before Xbox Live launched. What else do you need to know? And the online was good. Like, I didn't even play online games a lot, but when I did, back on the Dreamcast days, even on dial-up, heck, the dial-up internet was better on Dreamcast than my current internet. Tekken 3. I don't think Tekken was on Dreamcast, but Tekken's a good game. Specifically Tekken 3. Dreamcast, she says. What's that? Want to know what it was? This would be what it was. Sega Dreamcast, the greatest console of all time. And now Say Goodbye has got me off on a rant that we don't want to go down. Because everybody knows how much I love this machine. There might even be a game in this one. Nope, I took it out. Yeah, this is actually a working Dreamcast. It's literally just sitting here. I don't understand why... Oh, I absolutely understand why Dreamcast died out so fast. That's a whole other story. It had nothing to do with the actual machine. It had to do with two factors. I could go into the whole story, but I won't. The main factors being the Sega Saturn, which was Sega's very dumb mid-generation launch. It's not a toaster, but if it was, it'd be pretty cool, actually. Like, what if you could put a pancake in here and it would just spin? That'd be pretty cool. Phone call completed. Alright, welcome back. We are currently looking at the Sega Dreamcast, one of the many I have in this house. This one actually works. I've got 4 Dreamcasts in here. 2 of them work. Hey-o. But yeah. So, what killed the Dreamcast? Well, that would be 2 things. That would be Sega's poor marketing with the Sega Saturn not even a year before, and that would be Sony's great marketing with the PlayStation 2 a year after. I'm saying I did more on... What? Mikado's like 2 hours behind on this. Oh, I got a 5th viewer. But no, like... That's what I'm saying. Everybody's like way behind. Like, I'm waiting for someone to be like, oh, I got a haircut today or something in response to my hair comment from 20 minutes ago. But yeah, I believe that, Mikado. You've got like a whole closet of cosplay stuff. Who's your favorite character to cosplay, I wonder? The answer in 10 minutes. Answered phone call. I just picture like a little screen popped up in his life. Blip! Achievement unlocked. Phone call completed. I know, can't speak for everybody, but I know that at least 1 or 2 of us are probably bored out of our minds right now. I'm not, actually. This is kind of picked up more than I thought it would. Hey, we're almost topping an hour again, which is surprising. So, what was I saying before? We all got off on crazy tangents. Saying how much I liked the Final Fantasy VII remake. Was saying something about Nier Automata. I got a haircut recently. That's excellent. Are your salons open there in your area that I can't say where it is? We'll get that answer in 5 minutes. While we wait, what else can we talk about here? God, I haven't gotten a haircut in forever. As you can tell, I've actually done a pretty good job of hiding it. But, yeah, my hair's all over the place right now. Not too bad today, actually. I got all done up for you guys. I got all nicely, whatever the word is. I can't think right now. I'm actually overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by the crowds. Oh my god. See, that's why we need, I can't say his name. That's why we need Toaster Cartridge, because he'd be like, hey, play with that dog in the background. No, I was making a joke. Well, you really didn't get it. Who jokes about getting a haircut? I don't get it. About your haircut thing. Well, I clearly didn't. But if you did, that'd be cool. Because I know some states are opening up stuff again. Especially in areas of the country that are concurrent to yours, but I can't say if they might be that area. But I thought maybe that area of the country that I can't say had a thing. And Mikado just gave me the little weird eyes that mean, what are you talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't. I really don't. I was legitimately asking you, Mikado, who your favorite cosplay, like what your favorite character to cosplay is, because I know you have a few. Probably Zelda? Yeah, I was going to say, okay, we're on the same page there. I know Zelda's like your favorite gaming character. I didn't know, like, if like that's your favorite cosplay, period. As my favorite cosplay. You also did Tifa at a convention a couple of years ago that I thought was pretty cool to go along with Toaster Cartridge's Cloud of Strife. And that's when that crazy guy grabbed the sword, as we all know. So, yeah. Real quick, say goodbye just to answer you. That's pretty much what killed the Dreamcast. I also could argue that Sega dropped out too early a little bit. I feel like they kind of saw the writing on the wall and they just kind of surrendered. I don't know if they could have squeezed another year out of it. Part of me wishes they did, because it's a whole other thing. Just realized the beard is gone. Shame. You just realized that? Yeah, that's completely gone. Everybody has a different opinion on the beard. I kind of don't like it. I have to think about it. Like, I feel like, how do I say this? I feel like I don't like it because other people don't like it. Like, I feel like I'm kind of indifferent to it, but the general census among everybody is, why do you have a beard? What's that beard? I don't like that beard. And then I start looking at it going, why do I have this beard? But then a few people like it. So then I'm like, well, maybe it's not that bad. But so, I go back and forth with it. And obviously I can just grow it back. But, lost a viewer. Obviously they did not like the beard. The Nintendo, sorry, this cuts off at a weird angle. Nintendo 64 was still my, see, I can't really comment. Because, well, I know Toaster's working right now, but he's been working the last few days, and he still sneaks in to watch my streams, which is kind of funny. But no, Nintendo 64 I can't really comment on, because at that time I was still a huge Sega fan. I mean, I still am, but I was with my Sega Genesis at that point. Everyone else had the shiny new N64, which at the time I was like, wow, that looks really cool. But then I went back and played it, and obviously I can't recreate that nostalgia of having an N64 at the age of 10 or 9 or whatever, so if I play an N64 now, I'm like, I don't really get the big deal. What's your favorite breakfast cereal? I like Waffle Crisp. See, this is more like what I was thinking. I thought this would be kind of the back and forth we would engage in. Favorite breakfast cereal? See, as a kid, this would have been a really hard one, because I used to eat a lot of different breakfast cereals. Now I just eat maybe 3. So, 3? You eat 3? Maybe. I'm losing viewers like flies here. Favorite breakfast cereal? Might actually go a little off the books here, even though I haven't had it in ages. No, I'm going to stick with the one I eat most often when I'm looking for a treat, and that is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, believe it or not. It's probably like the least healthy, just packed with sugar thingy. But, yeah, I'll go Cinnamon Toast Crunch on that one. Of course, anybody's open to answer these questions. I just happen to have a microphone working for me right now, but if anybody in the chat also wants to kind of go back and forth on this. Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. See, I would say hands down, but it just seems like that's the one I go to the most often. But yeah, Big Chungus Chalupa. All right, well, it looks like Toaster has found us from the lower reaches of work. Thank you for joining us here. We are talking about our favorite breakfast cereals. Earlier I announced some other stuff. I don't really feel like announcing for a fourth time, but yeah, you'll figure it out eventually. Yes! Yeah, no, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I was going to say like Frosted Flakes just from the basis that it's like simpler. Like, I don't know, I mean, when I was a kid I ate all the most sugary cereal. I ate Trix and Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I even liked Apple Jacks. I actually don't like those now. Honeycomb, which was one I was thinking about going with. And now I eat kind of the more standard cereals like Rice Krispies, Frosted Flakes, not even Fruit Loops, but that's kind of where my palate has gone in my wise maturity, which as you guys can tell, I'm just full of it. So, yeah. That's my pick on that. I remember when I was a kid, you used to be able to buy those like 6-packs where it was like 6 little boxes of cereal, and it'd be like I'd be eating a different one every day of the week. I always felt so cool. My today's Fruit Loops Friday, but now you know I gotta make up my mind on things. Fruit Loops. That was a very emphatic Fruit Loop. I'm gonna laugh if she just logged on to say Fruit Loops and left because literally the view count went to 4. She said Fruit Loops and then it went to 3. Should I call out of work tonight? I thought you were working now. I can't make that decision. That's not what I'm here for. Reese's Puffs are really good. Although the commercial made them look amazing. And they don't really taste like Reese's, but they taste good. Then again, the commercial made every cereal look amazing. Like, they'd eat honeycomb and, like, the world would transform into, like, a theme park. They'd be, like, riding on the honeycomb merry-go-round. I'd take a bite of it and go, this is pretty good. But, you know, where was my... I didn't get no carousel. I didn't get no merry-go-round. I didn't get the leprechaun from Lucky Charms. I didn't get any of that stuff. How about Fruit Gushers? Anybody's head ever turned into an orange? Mine didn't. I got ripped off. I miss ads like that, though. I really do. 2 jobs. You don't have to go yelling at me for. I've got 2 jobs, usually. Actually, the peanut butter... I've not had those. I've not had those. I'm always at my office, but I'm not always at the... See, for some reason, my comments cut off, so I'm, like, missing some of this. But I'm guessing you mean the depot. I loved your picture, by the way, of you with your protective mask on, because let's just say it's not a traditional protective mask. Yes! Yes, Crossfire. I was literally about to mention that as one of the ads that's like over the top. Do I remember it? I actually have it, and we played it at my last couple birthday bashes, and it is so stupid, but the ad was just so catchy. As a kid, I wanted that stuff like more than any video game, and it was just a weird... like board game, shooter game, where you just tried to shoot a little puck with a bunch of marbles. Like, it's just the dumbest premise ever, but yeah, the ad made it look like it was like filmed in the 80s with this awesome action movie. Oh, Frankie's not going to have one. I don't even know. Well, I mean, I know I have one, but it's, you know, it's just because it's so far and away better than the other ones. I think Bex likes Mountain Dew, or at least some of the energy drinks. She drinks Monster and stuff like that. I like Mountain Dew. I'm guessing it's cut off, but I'm guessing he said something stupid that's probably not even a flavor. Boo. I actually don't know what he said. He must have said something dumb then. Oh, there we go. Oh, I like Mountain Dew. Yeah, no, actually, I can go with that. Yeah, if we're being technical, my favorite Mountain Dew flavor is Mountain Dew. Like, it really is just the original Mountain Dew with nothing added to it. Like, they didn't need to make them. And I'm going to release that rant pretty soon. As I told you, it's about a 12-minute rant. They didn't need to make them. I'm not saying none of them are good, but they didn't need to make them. You know, and if they're going to make them, then keep them. But again, I'm just going to, yeah. Crossfire! Yeah, that was pretty much the entire Crossfire song. It was just some guy going, Crossfire! I got nothing here. I'm trying to think of other things I could talk about. Or even look at in the room. That's kind of how I do it. That's why I like when Quaffle Boy's here, because he just like will pick out random stuff. We only have the you don't even have Code Red? That's a little surprising. Or do you have Voltage? Well, I guess you said you only have the regular one. Actually, I heard in well, I can't say where you live. I heard in certain areas they have ones that we don't have here, which does not narrow it down to anything, but hell, you know what I'm saying. I will not say where anyone else lives. I'll say where I live. I don't really give a crap, but just out of respect, I will not say where other people live. Wheelchair Bobby. That seems disrespectful. I'm not in a wheelchair. I'm on a piano bench. literally, I'm on it, like, this is what I'm sitting on. It's the same thing I sit on for all my streams. It's not, you know, magical, but it works. If you're talking about the computer chair that you and Arkaya helped build, that is over there. I can't really show it, but that was on wheels. I still remember that. Germany only has Mountain Dew. That's a weird place for you to reference, but yes, it's good to know. I assume you know that for some reason that I'm not going to say. Favorite Pop-Tarts flavor? I like cookies and cream. Actually, I like Pop-Tarts, but I don't like the majority of the flavors. So my favorite is by far the cherry one. The only other one I really like is cinnamon, and then blueberry's okay because it kind of tastes like a blueberry muffin. Cookies and cream I've never had. I generally don't like the cookies and cream flavor of anything, including ice cream. Like, they just, I don't know. They put like cookie crumbs in it. It's just kind of weird. But yeah, apparently Deutschland hat Mountain Dew. That's even pretty rare. That's surprising. I thought they'd at least have that. Although I guess internationally, Coke is the most popular beverage that you can get anywhere. And then Pepsi products, but maybe not Mountain Dew itself. And then after that, I don't know, Dr. Pepper. Because that's the other company, which actually I think is European to begin with. The 7-Up, what is it? 7-Up, A&W, and Dr. Pepper are the same company. You know what's disgusting? Pop-Tarts without frosting. Yes, they make like, I don't know if it's every flavor, but a lot of the flavors have a variant where there's no frosting on it. It's like you're just eating like a cracker with the filling in it. Yeah, you need the frosting. And I'm not a big Pop-Tart person anyway, but if you're going to do it, you got to do the whole thing. They're called Pop-Tarts, not Pops. You know, that's what makes a tart, is the extra stuff on it. I don't know. You know what else I never got into as far as breakfast food is bagels. They're just like really big bread donuts that you just put a little butter on. Like, it's like, why? Some of them are tasty. I like the ones that have blueberry elements in them. But bagels just never did it for me. I believe you were asking me earlier if I ever had coffee. I don't want to say I've never had it, but maybe once or twice at most. Vegan. How do you get vegan out of that? Yes, I'm a vegan because I don't eat bagels. Do you know Mountain Dew actually were testing a Dorito? Were they testing it or did it actually happen? I was going to say, like, I thought that happened. Sorry, jump to Twitch real quick. Oh, that's okay. You're allowed to leave. This is not a prison sentence. Tastes like cardboard. Yeah, they can do that, especially the unflavored ones. It was actually called Doritos. I had heard of that, and of course, as soon as that got announced, everyone's like, "You got to try this chip that tastes like a drink," and I'm like, "No, I don't. I really don't." You love coffee. Well, that was not expected. I thought maybe you'd like coffee, but I guess, you know, you're working 9 to 5. I could see if I worked a certain type of job where I was always like in a rush and I always had to be there early, I would get used to coffee. But I don't really like it. Like, I don't really like drinking it unless I have to, and I also just don't drink it. I have plenty of other things that have that caffeine in them. So, somehow we've gotten to breakfast, which is good. I like the randomness of the chat. Breakfast is like my least favorite. Breakfast always feels like a chore to me. It's like, all right, I gotta find like what scraps, you know, I got laying around to make breakfast out of, just for a meal that I'm barely hungry for. Retro Request Party. Yeah, that's coming out. Actually on Friday. That'll be episode 13 of Retro Request Party on Twitch, where my name is Chaos Blur. He works a 6:30 a.m. to 4. That is a long shift. I would definitely need coffee for that, probably. But it sounds like you just love coffee. I don't know if you like it because of the caffeine or you just like the taste of it. I don't know. I never got into the taste of it. I think it is what it is, obviously. It's not going anywhere. Coffee's one of the few things you can still get. Dunkin' Donuts are still open around here. I'm going to finish this Coke before this is over. That's just a given. But I digress. So, what's I going to say? There's got to be some weird sodas they have in Europe that they don't have here. Not that I know anyone from Europe, but if I did, maybe they would know if there were any sodas from that continent. But I don't know anyone, so it's all just hearsay at this point. Oh, that's right. Coffee Boy is here. I was going to say, Coffee Boy usually has some random thing for me to look at or say. And that's usually what happens. It's the caffeine in the morning. Bobby is in debt to a raccoon. Okay, even I get that reference. That's Animal Crossing. I mean, you're probably not wrong about being in debt for 64 million, but it's not Bells and it's not Tom Nook. I also like blue. Oh, that sounds disgusting. I don't like cream soda to begin with, but that just sounds like some kind of weird flavoring or something. Like, what does blue even taste like? Like it's supposed to be blueberry or blue raspberry. I don't know. I would say that this is one of the more boring streams I've done, but I've actually maintained 4 or 5 viewers through most of it. So to me, that's a success. Anytime I get over 2. I don't know if anybody's been watching the new Saturday Night Live skits where they're just at home. That's kind of what I feel like I'm doing right now, except it's not funny. It's occasionally funny. It's not that funny. It really isn't. Even I can admit that. Why would Sour Pitch Black 2 have a bigger fan base than Revolution, which actually was around for a little bit? Sour Pitch Black 2 was around for like 1 month in, what, 2005? Like, the year after Pitch Black? It is weird that they made a Pitch Black 2. They've never made a sequel to a flavor other than that. Like, they never made Whiteout 2. They never made, like, Typhoon 2 or Ty 2. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I did see a funny comment, though, that said, after Mountain Dew discontinued Whiteout, somebody made a comment on their Twitter page that said, Typhoon died for this, meaning that, you know, there was really no point. What's your favorite game show? I like Jeopardy because James Holzhauer was awesome. Nugget Coke is best. Yes, we already had that discussion a while ago. I mean, I like Jeopardy, but I honestly don't know who James Holzer is. Is that the new host? Because I know Trebek is not. He's either not doing it right now or he's done. Voodoo 2 is coming this fall. Yay. Maybe that's like their thing now. They do a Halloween flavor, and the next year they do a sequel. Voodoo 2, or Voo 2, as in who wanted it. It was terrible. But, you know, I'm glad they're not bringing back Whiteout or any of the fun ones when we could have Voodoo 2. This time it tastes like pumpkin. I'm already calling it right now. It's going to taste like pumpkin. It's going to suck. I'm going to try it. We're going to watch it. Say goodbye and all the rest of you are going to have a good old laugh about it. How do you like the new Harley Quinn animated series? Okay, so I love this show. I thought I was going to like it. I didn't know what I was going to be in for, quite honestly. Within the first minute of it, when they dropped the first 3 F-bombs, I'm like, oh, right, well, this is going to be like Deadpool, the animated series, except like the real Deadpool. And yeah, it just gets crazier from there. I really like, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, I really like what they did with the Harley Quinn character. You know, I'm always skeptical, even though I like Harley Quinn, I'm always skeptical about, like, how they're going to do a show that's about a villain, basically. Like, how much can you really do with that? Because you know she's not going to kill Batman. You know she's not going to, like, beat the Justice League. Like, there's always kind of that, you know, thing. Same thing with Suicide Squad or even Venom. Like, any movie that involves a villain, you wonder who they're going to fight, how it's going to work out. Because at least with the hero movies, you kind of know what's going to happen. With the anti-hero movies, the villain movies in the series, you really have to kind of, you have to strike a chord. That's kind of why I love Deadpool, because, like, you know, it's kind of, like, weird to go fetch Harry Potter stuff, maybe in a bit. Let's talk about Harley Quinn. Long story short, it's a great series. It's really funny, actually. Like, and it's not just funny because of her. There's a lot of side characters, a lot of, like, funny moments that come up during the series. I don't know why I'm telling you. You've watched it. But it's a really good show. If you have a way to watch it, I would recommend it. Yes, Batman is in it. Joker's in it. It feels like a... It doesn't feel exactly like the old Batman animated series, but it feels like an extension of it to a degree. And there's even other Justice League characters. So they kind of touch on almost everybody in the show, which I was not expecting. I thought it was going to be more just Harley and Poison Ivy, but thankfully it's not only them. So that to me is what makes it a really fun show. So you want me to fetch Harry Potter stuff. Alright. I don't know how seriously to take this suggestion. I also want to see what... I'm not going to say his name even so. I want to see what Say Goodbye's got for me. A raspberry lemonade dew called Mountain Dew Spark is also being... Is that really being released? I feel like there's like 6 Mountain Dew flavors rumored every year, and only 2 of them come out. But so they're gonna make another one in the summer. They already have what's it called? Frostbite just came out, so they're gonna have one in the summer, and they're gonna have another one in the fall. Why? Just bring back the ones you have. I gotta go do Frankie's thing now. what's funny is, Frankie, I actually have like the first 3 or 4 Harry Potter books. I was thinking about, I don't really read them, but I don't even know where they are. So this is the only thing I could find easily, and that is the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone Mystery at Hogwarts game. This is an actual thing that's in my room. I can already feel from the box that not everything is in here. I don't know why. When I was a kid, I used to just take extra dice and game pieces from other games and just use them interchangeably. There's like nothing in here. There's like nothing in this box. Okay, we got the actual game board. That survived. I do find it funny, Claffles, how you gave me back the Lego thing I gave you. That's still sitting in a bag. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets was my favorite. Well, apparently, I have no opinion either way. I actually thought the Sorcerer's Stone book was pretty good, but the movie was just awful. And it wasn't awful because it was awful, it was just so long. Like, the Sorcerer's Stone movie, I don't know how long it actually was, but it felt like 3 hours. Like, it felt like it took them 2 hours just to get to the school. So, yeah, there you go. I don't even know what this game is. It's called Mystery at Hogwarts, so maybe it's like a Clue type of game where you find out who done it. But there's dice, there's this weird little Rosalina-looking creature thingy. What else is there? There's like the sleeping 3-headed dog they have to get past. These are not trading cards. They're like spell cards you can play. I don't even know how to play the game. The instructions are missing. The game pieces consist of like these little wizard hat things. Actually, they're all wizard hats. They almost look like sorry game pieces turned into wizard hats. Don't watch a Lord of the Rings if you don't like long movies. Oh God, those things go on forever. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. And they always look good when I see them. Like, I know they built a whole world and everything, but I didn't read the books. I'm not super interested in watching the movies. But I know they have a big following. Even the Hobbit movies supposedly are pretty good. Apparently I've actually played this game because there are filled out game cards here. And I guess it is like a Clue game. It says Harry Potter in the Great Hall. Like that's the guess for who done it. And they're all filled out. I don't know if I'm doing this right because it looks like almost everybody committed the crime. Harry Potter conjures the Petrificus Totalis spell in the History of Magic class. This is literally a thing. Oh, what, you talking about the 3-headed dog being fluffy? Mikado, who, like, lives in a, like, what do you call it, 3-minute time warp from me. Okay, so that's the first and last time we'll see that board game. Thank you for that wonderful contribution, as always. While I'm in my room, should I get anything else? Alright, time to bury this again. I know I have the actual Harry Potter books here somewhere. I don't know why. The last Lord of the Rings movie is literally almost 4.5 hours. I really did not know that. And I thought Endgame was long, and I love Endgame. But I have to be in a certain mood to watch that, because that's like a 3-hour movie. And I guess technically, if you combine Infinity War and Endgame, it's over 5 hours. But 4.5 hours for one movie, that's crazy. That is pretty nuts. Let's see, have I addressed all the amazing questions? Yeah, and if that's just the theatrical edition, you should see how the extended editions are. Oh, I'm sure. It's the Lord of the really long movies. Lord of the Rings, I mean. Hey, we've already topped our longest stream right now at 1 hour and 19 minutes. So that's pretty good. I am kind of done with my announcements and everything, all 2 of them, which took place literally an hour ago now. So at this point, it's just kind of up to audience participation, if you will. And so far, I'm getting the impression that Shakabai is not a fan of the Lord of the Rings movies. Ever had Bertie Bott's? Oh, what the from Harry Potter, the ones that taste like boogers or whatever, the ones that are like really bizarre flavors. No, I have not. Because why? Why would I want to? Now I get the joke, but it's like, let's buy this thing that tastes awful. Nah, I can just buy the one that tastes good next to it. Just throwing that out there. I don't know. This is fun. It's fun as long as I only do it once a month, which is all I'm going to do it. It just turned out that the first Friday of May was the first day of May. And, usually it might be later in the month. So, actually, I could probably look at my calendar right now on my computer and tell you. So, the next episode of this weird show I'm doing would be June 5th, 2020. That would be the first Friday. My favorite movie series is Spider-Man. That's a bit of a dicey one. I assume you mean the original Spider-Man trilogy, which, as we all know, we don't really talk about that third one very much. But the first two were exceptional, and I don't want to say it started the whole Marvel renaissance, but those were the two first Marvel movies that were huge. And I know they had nothing to do with the later ones, but from 2002 to 2007, that Spider-Man trilogy, even though the third one wasn't very good, it did very well, sales-wise. And, of course, there's no coincidence that Iron Man came out in 2008 and all that other stuff started to come out. And I know they had Hulk also came out in 2004 or something. They had some other Marvel movies. The X-Men movies came out around the same time. Yes, I know. Unpopular. The third, see, that is an unpopular opinion. And I'm not as down on that movie as everybody else. It's kind of like my beard. I feel like I'm supposed to hate it. So I kind of just go oh yeah, I hate the third one. But I don't hate the third one. I really don't. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Same thing with Amazing Spider-Man 2. A lot of people hate that one. And I like it. To me, 90% of the superhero movies are of similar quality. And there's that 10% that's above that. But the ones that people hate, I don't really understand their reasoning for hating them when so many of them are similar. And I'm not saying they're all great. What was it? I finally watched Thor: The Dark World the other night. And I just thought it was okay. It was the only Thor movie I'd never seen. And it never really impacted me or bothered me in any way. I saw the first Thor movie. I saw Ragnarok. And I feel like that's all I needed, because the first one had his origin, and Ragnarok had kind of some big events that led up to Infinity War, but then the second one was just kind of there. And I'm okay, I guess I should see the second one to see what happened. So I watched it, and I'm I really didn't need this. It didn't really go anywhere. The main plot was just kind of to have a big fight. It didn't do it for me. Thor: The Dark World. Good action, a couple funny moments, but it just, they can't all be winners, I guess. But when I think of movies that, superhero movies in particular, and again, I only know a few people who watch as many as I do, but I don't know. I feel like I've watched 20 of these things, and I like pretty much all of them, and then I love a couple. So the people who are oh, I hated Iron Man 2, I'm why? Iron Man 2 to me just felt I'm not going to say it's better than Iron Man 1, but it felt similar to Iron Man 1. Same thing with the people who love Winter Soldier from Captain America. I don't love it. It just feels the same as the other ones. Actually, Civil War is much better, but everyone's oh, Winter Soldier was a great movie. It was a good movie. Had some good moments. But my favorite roller coaster, that's random. First of all, I'm not a big roller coaster person. I'm that person that goes to the theme parks and everyone's I want to go on the vomit inducer. I want to go on the twist shambler. And I'm I'll be over here on the bench. Favorite roller coaster. I guess I gotta go Boulder Dash, which is this roller coaster at Lake Compounce that is, it's pretty intense, for me, mainly because it's a wooden roller coaster, so it's not so much that it's a big drop, but on a wooden roller coaster, you feel every bounce, every, twist, everything's really, it feels faster than it probably is. I think it's, I don't know what roller coaster speeds are, but it's pretty fast. And it's, you go through the woods, so that's kind of cool. At night, it's really cool because they have, lanterns. It goes by really quick, though, as you'd imagine. It's probably, only a minute and a half. But while you're on it, it's, really intense. There's, a few jumps, or not jumps, but, a few little dips and stuff where you feel you're actually coming off the cart, which is probably unsafe. But that's probably my favorite roller coaster that's not... It's, right on my threshold of, I can ride it, and I'm not terrified, but it's also pretty intense. Otherwise, I like kind of the lighter roller coasters. I won't do Superman at Six Flags. I did go on Batman at Six Flags. I have no idea who talked me into that. I have been on the Zoomerang, which is a roller coaster. It's one of those roller coasters that goes backwards. It takes you up and then drops you that way instead. So you see everything kind of dropping away from you. It's really disorienting. And I've never been on one of those roller coasters where you hold the thing like the Mind Eraser and you have no ground below you. That's just, no. If I did, maybe my mind was erased. Boulder Dash is actually 2.5 minutes. Did you look that up, or have you actually been to Lake Compounce? It probably is about that. It's a lot of that is going up, though. The first drop is the highest one, and it takes a long time to get there. And then after that, it's just kind of a big flash. But it's fun, and I like the way it's situated. It really is a cool idea. I think it's not the oldest wooden roller coaster. In fact, I think the oldest wooden roller coaster is in Lake Compounce, a different one. You should try King Dakar. Okay, I'll bite. What is that? I've never heard of that. Unless, I don't know, if Mikado's like 10 minutes behind us, so I don't know if she's even talking about Harry Potter or a roller coaster. King Dakar is diabolical. Is that one of those ones, because I've looked up YouTube videos, like the top 10 like worst roller coasters in terms of like just how intense they are. Is that one of the ones where like you're on a platform and it just like dumps you off? Like you just feel like you're going off a building? Like I've never... I know there's some that toy around with the idea of like a straight 90-degree drop. Like, I don't think you can do that because it would kill you, but it's scary. I am just kidding. Oh, what? So it's really not scary? It's actually like some little kiddie coaster? I don't really know roller coasters, so you could fool me. There are a few that I was curious of trying, even on the more intense ones. I forget what it's called, but listen to Bubblegum, KK. Okay. Anyway, moving on to real things. There was a roller coaster on that list. It's almost like a bobsled. It's like really weird. You go down a wooden track on like a bobsled. Like, I'd probably still be scared on it, but the premise is kind of cool. Six Flags Great Adventure. It launches to 120 miles an hour in about 3 seconds. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Check your phone. I'm sending you a picture of King Dakar. I believe you. I could probably be faster if I just looked it up on my iPod. Where is that even located? Yeah, got a low battery. But yeah. Yeah, this has lasted a little longer than I anticipated, which is good. But we'll see. And we lost another viewer while we waited for that picture. I really do want... I was just thinking about games for some reason. I'm not going to stream it again, but I streamed it yesterday. Streets of Rage 4 was fantastic, I gotta say. I think you were thinking of Wildcat at Lake Combat. It's not the oldest. It's either Wildcat or Cyclone. It's not the oldest, but it's one of the oldest. Like well, it might be the longest. It might be the oldest one in Connecticut, which isn't saying much, but it has some distinction of some kind. It's like 100 or so years old, but I'm sure there's an older one. It's also not very good. I've been on it. Leap the Dips in Altoona, I believe, is the oldest. Okay. Well, you know an unusual amount about roller coasters, I'll give you that. I'm currently looking up a picture of King Dakar, which sounds half made up, but I have a feeling it's not. King Dakar. Apparently, this isn't a good sign. When you type in King Dakar on Google, some of the first things you see are King Dakar Six Flags, King Dakar Height, King Dakar Speed, and then King Dakar Death. That's actually some of the headlines that are associated with it. So people are curious about how fast it goes, and then they want to know how many people died on it. That's really all I need to know. King Dakar. King Dakar is a steel roller coaster located at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. King Dakar launches to 120. Yeah, I'd rather not. Apparently it gets up to 128 miles per hour, 556 feet, G-force 5. And there's videos of it. Oh, heck no. No. I'm looking at the first dip there. It's just one giant hill. It's basically like a stock report if your company isn't doing too well. No. Oh my god. The Six Flags Great Adventure will be the last adventure you ever go on. Let's just put it to you that way. Designed by Warnell Stengel. It's very scary to see in person. It's scary to see on the freaking screen. I don't know what you're talking about on person. I would definitely not... I'm fine with looking at it, but I'm not riding it. Yeah, let's see. This sucker cost $25 million to build, not counting the hospital bills of anyone who rides the thing. The first drop is 418 feet, 128 miles an hour. Duration, 28 seconds. I'm a coaster fanatic, even if I'm afraid of King Dakar. Have you been on King Dakar? I'm not going on no King Dakar. I don't care how many King Dakars there are. I ain't going on it. Jeez. While King Dakar is still the tallest, its speed record was broken by Formula Rossa when it opened at Ferrari World in 2010. That's random that it got beaten by something from Ferrari World. I feel like that would just be kind of a little car theme park. But yeah. I would go on Millennium Force at Great Adventure. None of these sound fun. The more intense they sound, the more I'm like, no, I'll be over here in Thunder Rapids, thank you. Six Flags Great Adventure is actually a pretty fun park. I didn't like the water park. Yeah, that's the problem. See, I like water parks if they're done right, but Six Flags water parks are always so crowded and there's like not enough to do. They look big, but then you can't get to any of the rides. I just remember one time I went with a friend of mine and we're like stepping on like everything because we're barefoot and we're going through the boiling sand and there's like glass and stuff in there. We're like, ow, 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 just to try to get to a water slide. King Dakar actually had an issue when it first opened. You mean besides its basic construction? When it first opened, the seat restraints broke while people were on it, and they had to redesign it. And this was after they died, or what? Because that's not one of those, like, where you go, whoopsie, that's, oh, crap, we just killed, like, 20 people. Like, that's not a minor glitch. That's, yeah. Unless they broke when they got on the ride. Because once the ride starts, you ain't getting off. Cedar Point, sorry, Millennium Force is at Cedar Point. I'm not going to any of these places. Great Adventure, maybe, because New Jersey's not that far away. In fact, New Jersey was the last mall tour I went on back in March. That's what I was talking about, which I might touch on briefly. The reason I didn't like the one at Great Adventure is because it smells like piss little time. Meh. Like, I don't mean to be gross, but it's the truth. Well, it is New Jersey, so, I mean, that's just kind of how New Jersey smells. My brother nicknamed wave pools the public bath. It kind of is. It really is just a bunch of people just standing there basically in their underwear, just with water washing over them. All that stuff's getting mixed. Oh, great, now I really don't want to go in wave pools. And that was actually one of my favorite parts of going to that stuff. Just kind of the relaxing wave pools. Alright, who do we still have with us? I know we have, well, we're down to 3 viewers now. I know we got Mikado, we got Say Goodbye, we might have Kukuro, Sam. You guys got to get better names to remember, because these are just ridiculous. Like Beck's name I can remember pretty easily because it's one stinking syllable. Yeah, so we got freaking Say Goodbye, Mikado Masuzu, Matatu Satasuki. Yeah. Millennium Force is also terrifying to see in person. Cedar Park is a great point. Cedar, you know what I mean. Where is Cedar Point? Look up Apollo's Charlotte. I have heard of that. In fact, I think you've sent me pictures of that. That sounds like it's in Vegas. I know there's like some famous one in Vegas where you like go off a building or something, or it looks like you're going off a building. Apollo's, yeah, I believe you. I'm sure it's adequately terrifying. But I digress. Oh, how I digress. But anyway, it's been nice to talk to you guys, girls, people. You still catching up on Ellen DeGeneres? I gotta give you props, Quaffle Boy. You come up with the most random questions that nobody would have ever even thought to ask. But to answer your question, yes, I am all caught up. I went the year King Dakar first opened, so I definitely know what you're talking about. It was closed when I went that day. Yeah, they were still cleaning up the bodies. And then you went on it. That's the even funnier part. Cedar Point is in Sandusky, Ohio. Ohio. That's like a 8-hour drive from me. 8 or 10 or 20. I don't know. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Obviously, this whole situation has... what was I going to say? This whole situation has kind of put a damper on my travel plans going forward, but we'll see how long that lasts for. Apollo's Chariot is Busch Gardens, Williamsburg in Virginia. Another place I will not go, even if I really was into roller coasters. Which I'm not. So, yeah. Now, it is kind of unfortunate, because the mall tour really kicked off with a bang, I thought. I was really excited about it. You know, because it's the last one, I feel like I'm putting even more effort into it. And I saw my friend Trevor again, who was supposed to be getting married actually this past month. But they just ended up doing a small thing at his house because of the virus. So, I didn't even get to see him for his wedding or DJ it or any of that fun stuff. So that's out the door. Supposedly, you know, the summer's going to be full of weddings for me to DJ, assuming they still take place. Who knows who's going to open, because the venues have to be open. It doesn't matter. You would like Nobles in Ellisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm always weary when somebody says I would like it. I'm not saying they're wrong. It's just like, how much intel do you really have on me and what the content is that you could say that? Because, like, unless it's a big, like, Sonic theme park, you're probably, you know, half right. I don't know. But there are some fun things I still want to see. And that's pretty much all I can do right now is talk about seeing them because we can't go anywhere. Ever. Again. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be like that person, but yeah. But here we are. I was going to do another room today. It turned out not to. Future episodes, I want to like kind of set this up maybe in the kitchen or other rooms, get kind of a different background to it. You know, because right now we're just looking at, I'm actually just going to go ahead and look at my screen right now. I'm looking at a lamp, Sonic Comics in the background, a bunch of coats. Not really a very intriguing background by any means. But I appreciate the people who have watched and asked questions and tuned in. And if you have any more conversation topics, I'd be happy to engage in that. It has a classic amusement park feel. Actually, I do. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll buy that. Classic. Okay, free to enter. Now you really sold me. Before that, I'm like, I don't know. But, okay, that kind of pushed me over the top a little bit. Classic amusement park feel I like. Not really intense. It almost sounds like Lake Compounds, because Lake Compounds feels like an old-timey roller coaster. It sounds like an old-timey theme park. What sucks about Lake Compounds is they used to have free soda all over the park. So no matter where you went, they had these soda machines, and yes, Mountain Dew was in some of them, and you could get as much free soda as you want. Now they charge you for it, and you know you have to go to like, actually they got rid of the machines altogether. You have to go to a concession stand. I think it's only like 99 cents, or it's like relatively cheap for a theme park, but still it was just nice to be able to get, you know, as much soda as you wanted. So if I was thirsty and waiting for a ride, I could just go get a Pepsi or something. But now it's like, nope, that couldn't be anymore. Yell Wayne St. Pierre. I mean, I'll say Wayne St. Pierre. I'm not going to yell it. Wayne St. Pierre. There you go. That was like the biggest red herring in the entire Final Fantasy playthrough to this point. Go find Wayne St. Pierre, and then like an hour later, oh yeah, there is no Wayne St. Pierre. All right, well then go screw myself, I guess. I loved Hershey Park. I haven't been in years, but it is a fun park. That I have heard, and I believe it, obviously. A lot of fun stuff in Pennsylvania. The only time I've been to Pennsylvania was actually to see Say Goodbye, and we hit 3 pretty okay malls, which I will address in my mall memory series. The Great Steamtown Mall, Wyoming Valley, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, Viewmont in, what's it called, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. So, 3 pretty good malls. Of course, the fun part was actually meeting Say Goodbye and seeing the train tracks from the Steamtown Mall, which was a very nice looking mall, just didn't have a lot to offer. So, that will be mentioned in my mall memory video. There's a Wayne St. Pierre, you just missed the side quest. I know, but everyone made it sound like he was important to the story, so I'm like, oh, I'm waiting to meet this Wayne St. Pierre. After I beat the game, I'll probably go back and do some of those side quests. It's just that when I'm streaming, I like to kind of, I don't know. I'm weird when I stream a game like that, because I feel like people want to see action, they want to see the game progress. They don't want to just watch me go back and forth between loading screens and side quests. There's a Wayne St. Pierre and bees. That's all you. Oh, the bees. Oh, you're way. Geez, how far behind are you? Yeah, I know the bees. You know what? I didn't mind the bees. And guess what? The bees are still there. It's summertime. People are sweaty. There's gonna be bugs. There's food. There's sweet stuff. It's always bugs. There's always bees at Lake Compounds. They use that as the excuse, and I'm not denying there were bees. I went there. There were bees all over the place. But you know what I did? I went around the bees, and I got my Mountain Dew, and I moved away from the bees. And life went on, and I was happy. But no, they wanted to save a couple bucks, so they said, oh, there's too many bees here. Yeah, well, the bees were really killing us left and right, weren't they? Stupid. Stupid is what it is. Your father's right. They completely redid the mall at Steamtown. They have the entire aquarium. Really? See, that actually sounds really good. Is it actually good? Because, I mean, I would consider going up there again. It was only like a 3.5-hour drive. I mean, I wouldn't just do that, but I would like to see a mall with an aquarium in it. I mean, are any of the stores there? Because I remember, like, everything was missing other than Bosgoff's, which is really funny because after that mall tour, I started seeing Bosgoff's pop up in Connecticut. To that point, I had never been in one. They have a college campus as an anchor. That's kind of a cool idea. Now, there's some cool malls out there. Some of the more obscure ones are surprisingly good. Like, there's stuff going on. My view counter is flickering more than my eyes blink. I notice That's Fine Productions haven't chimed in yet, so no mention of John. feel like I always have to answer for John. I do have a couple fun ideas for videos, and Kokoro saying, if you are still there, which I don't know if you are, I have not forgotten about the Sonic Mania playthrough we started in 2018. No, we lost the viewer. I did not forget about that. Sonic Mania playthrough, what was I saying? I'm still working on that, episode 5 and 6. Hopefully get those out soon. I just don't know what to do for views. Like, you know, I put out all this stuff thinking like, hey, someone will watch this, and no one does. Look up Electric City Aquarium. That sounds pretty cool, actually. Why is it called Electric City, though? Wouldn't it be called Steamtown Aquarium? We did the mall Steamtown. It's a massive aquarium. Takes up multiple storefronts. That's a cool idea, but I don't know if that alone makes me want to go to that mall now, because even with that, they only had 6 other stores. A nice-looking mall. Kind of reminded me of, not the Crystal Mall, but there was a mall a long time ago. They repurposed it, and Quaffle Boy and Mikado will remember it. The old New London Mall, before it became the outdoor mall. The old New London Mall kind of reminded me of Steamtown, except Steamtown had 2 floors. Steamtown looked like it had some potential. I really liked their food court. I really liked the part that went over the train. I'm not saying it was a great mall. It's probably like a better version of Crystal Mall in its heyday. And Electric City Aquarium sounds fun. It's the nickname for Scranton. Really, I never saw Electric City anywhere in there. I did like that convenience store we went to. That's my highlight. Whatever it's called, Sheets, I think. I liked that convenience store because it had like every flavor of Mountain Dew ever made, which at the time actually included Whiteout. Like they had everything. That was awesome. But pretty funny when your favorite part of the trip was seeing the convenience store. I'm actually going to go ahead right now and look up this Electric City Aquarium. I don't know why, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that's how that's going to go. Still checking my chat. Don't know how much longer I'm going to stream here. Just I get to the point where, you know, I set up all this stream stuff. I may as well use it. So I'm glad people showed up, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself for like 45 minutes. Sheets, yeah, no, Sheets had some stuff. Oh, there we go. What's up? That's Fine. I was waiting. It wouldn't be a complete Bobby Gaines stream without an appearance from That's Fine Productions and their never-ending support of the Mall Tour, which is currently on a hiatus because of the thing that I'm not talking about. But we did release episode 1 back in April of Mall Tour 2020. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts were on that, as I went to Westfield Garden State in Paramus, New Jersey, and that was the first Mall Tour, and so far the only Mall Tour this year. So I'm actually on the website right now for this aquarium. I like the logo of Electric City. This doesn't really tell me much other than they have fish, which I could have figured out. That's a pretty cool idea. Mall Tour does rule. I was really, and I still am, gung-ho about the Mall Tour, but obviously this kind of took the wind out of the sails. But as soon as we get back, I'm ready to really start hitting some malls. I'm ready to start not buying stuff. Just you try to stop me. I ain't buying a thing. Any of these malls. And that's why it's going to be fun. Everyone's like, well, what'd you buy at the mall? I'm like, what'd they have? Doesn't matter. Bought nothing. Oh, it's pretty cool looking. I'm looking at the Electric City Aquarium now. They even kind of redesigned some of the mall to look like it. It looks like they're at least trying. Let me see if I can find pictures of the Steamtown Mall from like 2019 or something. See if I can, like I said, that mall had potential, but it clearly was there. Oh, no, that's fine. This is not exactly a first priority type of thing. I'm glad some people have shown up. I've been able to kind of chat with them for a little bit each. My friend Bex was here briefly. I think she's gone. I think Kakuro-san, who's another friend of mine, is gone. I actually don't know who's here, because unlike Twitch, YouTube doesn't show me who's in the viewer queue. And also my last for the next few months. Really? So, like, they closed again? Or you were just on hiatus? I don't get that. I kind of do get that. Everything's kind of up in the air right now. Well, it's Steamtown. Actually, they redid the entrance, it looks like. Maybe. Oh, that looks pretty nice. I saw another shot of the inside. Looks like there's actually some people in there. That was from November of 19. Oh, what's up? All right. Kakura-san is still here. Yeah, sorry, I'm just all over the place today. I'm already done saying what I had to say, so at this point I'm just kind of asking questions and answering questions. It's really all I got. I'm greatly enjoying the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think I already said that. And generally, I don't get into those kind of games, and there have been some parts where I'm like, okay, I kind of slog through it because I know that the better stuff is coming up, but no, Final Fantasy VII I'm very solid on. I don't know where it's going to rank in terms of my favorite games of all time, but it's really good. Yeah, I saw that. It's called the Marketplace at Steamtown. I saw the new sign. It looks nice. It looks like they're going for something a little more classy. Maybe it's just because the picture was taken at Christmas time, but the picture I saw of it from last year looked really busy. Not really busy, but busier than when I went. There's actually some people in it. And I like the aesthetic. I've always liked the aesthetic. I hope the elevators work now, because I always like that elevator. I like the look of it. Oh, wow, what's this? Is this still Steamtown? I saw like a picture where they had like another section where there's like these overhanging chandeliers that look pretty nice. There's Bosgov's. Again, I'm just looking at pictures from 2019 of the Steamtown Mall. I know that doesn't really do you much good. Scranton is a dying city that needs new leadership, honestly. So it's New London. New London, Connecticut. Lovely. I keep losing that fifth viewer. I want to stay at 5 viewers, but not holding my breath here. Oh, God. Trying to think. We've kind of touched on almost everything. I like this idea of the video rants being the live streams now. Every month I'm not going to have an announcement because there's really not much to announce even with regular circumstances. Originally this time of year would be when I started going on a lot of mall tours, and I might do 3 or 4 in May or 3 in June. I don't know what's going to happen because even when I get back, I'm going to have to go back to work, so it's going to throw a whole thing in there. Westfield looks pretty sweet. Yeah, that was a great mall. Westfield Garden Plaza, since I have a little more time. That was a great mall. That was my first time going to that one. I've actually been to 4 different Westfield malls in Connecticut and other places, and they're all really nice quality. Westerly, Westchester, Westington Mall. Okay, no, there isn't a Westerly Mall. I was going to say, that sounds familiar. Westchester there is. I've been to the Westchester Mall in New York. Westington, there could be a Westington Mall. The Viewmont Mall is always... See, that's surprising, because I thought the Viewmont Mall was just okay. I thought Viewmont and Wyoming Valley were just okay. Like, they weren't bad. I can understand, like, if you live in that area, that's where you go, but I don't know why they'd be insanely busy. Like, that's just me, though. How about Kokoro-san? Do you have any nice malls in your area? Which I don't know where that area is, but do you have any nice ones? I can only go by what I got here, and I know Say Goodbye has the few that he showed me, and That's Fine has pretty much like those 2 malls, which of course I'm talking about Providence Place and Emerald Square, which are like really the only good malls that are close to their area. And of course all the malls in this state are closed, and I was going to check out the new one they opened, which is called the Sono Collection, which is up in South Norwalk, which is why it's called Sono, South Norwalk Collection. And even though I'm still going to check it out, just to say I did it, I'm kind of mixed on how good it's going to be, or if it's even really a mall, because I was looking stuff up on it. And, okay, King of Prussia Mall, I'm going to get to that in a second. Sono Collection, like I thought it was a mall, and it is technically a mall, but if you look more into it, it's almost like a part art museum, part mall. Bugs Bunny explains how LeBron helped him get... What is wrong with freaking Quaffle Boy in some of these references? That is kind of funny, though, I'm not going to lie. Now, King of Prussia Mall, God, I hope everything goes back to normal relatively soon, because I do have a legitimate plan to go to King of Prussia Mall. So for those of you who don't know, King of Prussia is in Philadelphia, or it's near Philadelphia, and it is actually, and this varies, it's the 2nd or 3rd biggest mall in the country. The point is, it would be the biggest mall I've been to when I go there. The Mills at Jersey Gardens, I'd never heard of that. If that's something that is not too far away, I might check it out. I assume that's in New Jersey. Like I said, this is the last mall tour season, so I'm willing to go a little further than I usually would. And in terms of King of Prussia, that is, not only is that on the list, but that is feasible because of my friend who lives in Jersey. We could catch a train up toward Philly and just kind of take care of it in one day. Like, I wouldn't drive all the way to Philadelphia. In fact, it's not even that far to where my friend lives. It's maybe 2.5, 3 hours. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Imagine if Tom Brady became president. I was saying, now we're getting the dumb questions. Here we go. This is what I was expecting. Imagine if Tom Brady became president. Well, at the risk of being generic, he would cheat to become president. Obviously, he would deflate the ballots. How is John holding up? About the same, actually. Having a good old time being him. I still talk to him quite a bit. I actually went for a walk with him last week, and that was fun. Actually, the first time I've walked that far in a long time. We walked about 7 miles. We went over the Groton Bridge. Some fun stuff. The mills at New Jersey, like I said, it's not impossible. I mean, as much as I would love to, I can't go to every mall, but if that's a conceivable trip, like if that's on the way to Pennsylvania, or if that's on the way to something, I would do it. I'm not, ruling anything out, especially at this point where the mall tour could extend into the spring, because there is another mall that I definitely want to hit. That's technically, it's not open now, but even before this, it wasn't technically open, but it was. It's really confusing. It's right by Giant Stadium, actually. It's called the American Dream Mall in Rutherford, New Jersey. And that's supposed to be like one of the biggest malls in the country at the time of its opening, but currently it's nothing much, because I guess they were opening it in sections, and you can only imagine how the virus situations impacted that. They were going to open it like in the summer in terms of more stores. Right now there's only like a small percentage open, so it's a huge building, but not a lot of it's open yet. So I want to wait till that's open. There's a good chance that could be the last mall tour, whenever that is. So I'm not in a rush right now as far as that goes. Whenever it happens, it happens. I'm excited about it. I really prepared a lot for the mall tour. The new song, the new everything. So I'm ready to go on that. It's just a matter of when they'll have me, basically. That could be a long time. So, the Mills at Jersey Gardens. Well, Shea Goodbye knows his mall, so I'll give him that. Sounds cool. Almost sounds a little ritzy, which I have mixed feelings about. I like seeing ritzy malls, but then it's like, I feel like I'm just kind of looking but not touching or not buying, Like, it's like walking into a Swarovski crystal store. All the stuff's like $500. It's like, well, even for me, I'm not going to buy anything. Like, there's not even a chance. Like, I'm not even on the fence about it. I know I'm not going to buy anything here. Oh, a pair of earrings for $1,000? Sure. Yeah, no. So, yeah. Oh, that's weird. The Mills at Jersey Gardens is 1.2 million square feet, has 230 stores. That's weird, because 1.2 million is really not that big, but 230 stores is pretty sizable. Most malls have like between 80 and 150 stores, so 230 stores in that small a space, that sounds weird. Like, I don't know if that means there's just like narrow hallways or what. I'd have to look more into that, because that is weird that there would be a mall of that size, because a lot of malls in Connecticut are about that size, and they don't have 230 stores. They have maybe 100 at most. The biggest mall in Connecticut, I think, has like 160 stores. So, yeah, that's surprising. I mean, not surprising that a mall would have that many stores, but surprising it would only be 1.2. I would think at least 1.8, 1.9. Start getting over 2 million, that's when you get to the bigger malls. Do a Society Sucks video. Well, see, that's something I can't just do. Like, I gotta really think about that. At this point, we're getting toward the end of the rant, not the beginning. So, like, all my energy's kind of been expended on coffee talk or Harry Potter talk. Like, I don't even have a topic to go on, really. Do a Society Sucks video. It's funny, like, everyone has their own things that they like me to do, and that's actually interesting. That's why I came up with the channel, is because I don't really have a theme. Some people, their gaming channels, their food channels, their music channels. I do kind of all of it a little bit, but nothing consistently. Like, I could post a video tomorrow of just a dancing kangaroo. Like, it's just really random what I do. And that's why I like the Net Gain series. Actually very surprised that this video will likely top 2 hours. In fact, I might just let it run out to 2 hours just to say I did it. And then after that, I don't know. But, so I'm not going to say, see, Society Sucks video would have made more sense toward the beginning of this. At this point, I'm not going to do one. Which, if those of you don't know, I don't even know if those videos are still on YouTube. I made like 4 of them. Or maybe 5. But I was also very bored back in 2011. That's when I made some of my really weird videos, like the Grocery Gauntlet, Society Sucks, some of those just weird ones where I'd just be like in my car or something. Like, and I've gone through various phases of quality videos, like not so good quality videos. That was 2011. Even though Blockbuster 2 came out that year, everything else was kind of just Squidward Elsa. Okay, well, there you go. It's good as anything. Yeah, it kind of was like Squidward back in 2011. Like, a lot of my videos were like, okay, here we are. Like, they were just there. What's your favorite SpongeBob episode? I feel like somebody else has asked me this before too. Like, everybody knows I like SpongeBob because I reference it so much. But then the question always becomes, what's your favorite episode? And to me, it's always between two. It's the pizza delivery episode and Band Geeks. And I feel like I'll go Band Geeks, but I really love them both. Well, they both have the same concept in that Squidward actually, like, wins in the end, kind of. Not as much in Pizza Delivery, but Pizza Delivery, I liked it because as much as Squidward hates SpongeBob, at the end of that episode, he ends up standing up for him, and he, like, kind of, he's like, hey, the guy really likes this, he's taking this pizza delivery thing so seriously, he gets so upset when the guy slams the door on him, so then he goes ahead and takes care of matters. I always thought that was kind of a funny moment. Squidward's kind of like, he has a heart. And kind of the opposite thing with Band Geeks, which is also just a hilarious episode, where Squidward tries to turn them all into this great marching band, and of course they all suck, and at the very end they band together, some pun intended, and become this, like, great band. But then, like, as touching as that is, they really didn't do it for Squidward. They kind of did, but they kind of joke on the fact that, like, Squidward was always there for us when it was convenient for him. Like, it was, like, kind of this weird coming together moment, but we're not sure why. But I like those kind of episodes, because more often than not, it's always just like, let's crap on Squidward. Which, yeah, it's funny sometimes, but I don't know. I like cartoons like SpongeBob that have the chemistry between the characters, but also kind of look outside of that. So long story short, my favorite episode would probably be Band Geeks, just for the reasons I outlined. But Pizza Delivery, I give a lot of credit to for just being funny and also having kind of a weird bond between those two characters. Because SpongeBob and Patrick being best friends to me just always seemed arbitrary. Patrick's like an idiot. SpongeBob's just, seems to love everybody. So to me, the fact that they're best friends, I mean, he could have just drawn a name out of a hat. And it just seems like they overdo it. Like, we're best friends. Like, why? What's the reasoning? I do enjoy Band Geeks. Mikado jumped on that grenade as soon as it got thrown. Yeah. I'm getting tired. My voice is actually getting, like, dry from all this talking. Even the Coke hasn't helped. Christmas Who is a great episode. Sleepy Time, the one where he goes into everybody's dreams. That was pretty funny. That's the one where Patrick's on the little toy horse, and he's like, oh, man, I'm all out of quarters. Yeah, Christmas Who is a great episode. Christmas Who has a really funny part. Christmas Who has a really funny part when they're all writing notes to Santa Claus and Patrick keeps ripping his paper and they go, well, what did you ask Santa for? Another piece of paper. Like, it was just so stupid. Like, some of Patrick's best lines are just so, like, just unexpected. SB-129 I do really like. It gets kind of weird in the end, but the part where Squidward's in the future is the funniest part because he's like, future, and then all the SpongeBobs being like a million of them and then having everything's chrome in the future. He's lying. He's lying. He's right. And Dying for Pie is an excellent episode. You want me to explode? It's just the three of us. You, me, and this brick wall I built between us. How many more SpongeBob references can I cram into the next few minutes? Because that's pretty much where we're at right now. I'm almost wrapped up here. Had my guitar. I actually even tuned that sucker. I only got a few minutes of guitar out of it. A few okay minutes. Oh, you know what other one I like is the one where Squidward tries a Krabby Patty. Where it's like, you do like Krabby Patties, don't you? Almost reminds me with some of the Mountain Dew variants. Oh, Rocko's Modern Life. Did you see the Static Cling Netflix special? I actually thought they did a really good job on that. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but they got the original voice crew back. The plot, to me, fit perfectly with the series. And assuming that is the series finale, which I think it is. I can't even believe Dying for Pie was... Dying for Pie wasn't, like, offensive, though. Sailor Mouth, yeah. Sailor Mouth was clearly about swearing, but Dying for Pie was just stupid. I don't know if it was, like, bad for kids to see. I mean, out of all the weird things SpongeBob has done in that episode and future episodes, I don't know that that would be that bad on the list. There's actually, I mean, I haven't watched SpongeBob in a number of years, but I'm somewhat familiar with some of the later stuff. Like, they really kind of pushed the envelope on kids' show stuff from what I've seen. Yeah, Static Cling was great. Even the beginning, like, they referenced so many different, like, tropes from the show, but it wasn't just, like, you know, another episode. Like, it wasn't like, okay, they just copied it and said it was good. Like, Actually, it's kind of funny. I was talking about Streets of Rage 4 earlier. They kind of gave it that kind of treatment where it's like a new episode. It's new enough. And like, I think Mr. Big Head has a new song in it where he's singing about how great his life is as he's like running everybody over. Like, it just had a lot of those great old Rocco moments where Mr. Big Head starts freaking out and Mrs. Big Head is like, oh, you know, his life is just falling apart like a pile of manure. Rick and Morty, I like Rick and Morty. I haven't seen like a lot of the show. Actually, it's funny. Kokuro Salma has shown me quite a few episodes. Of course, I love Mr. Meeseeks. I actually have, I don't know if they're going to be here, probably not. I have Mr. Meeseeks socks. I have a few Mr. Meeseeks things. I have a few Rick and Morty things. I've actually got the shirt that says, let's get Swifty. So Rick and Morty's kind of hit or miss with me. I do like most of the episodes. I know that there's like an overarching plot that I'm not familiar with. It seems like every episode I watch is just a random thing. But I like the concept of it. I like the show. Like, I'm not like crazy about it like some people are. Like, I don't know all the references. I know Pickle Rick and the bigger references, but I love Mr. Meeseeks. That's pretty much, I don't know why. That's just my thing. Oh, Mr. Meeseeks, look at me. Oh, boy. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I opened my browser. I still have pictures from the mall at Steamtown on here. Yeah, I'm getting ready to wrap up soon, so if anybody has any last-minute questions, I feel like I'm doing a book signing. I'm the author. I don't know if anybody's ever watched New Girl. That's a pretty funny show. But yeah, I digress. See, Bob's Burgers I never really got into. I don't know why. Some shows I get into and some shows I don't, and they kind of seem similar, but I don't know. Just because a show is a little wacky doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to like it, but I know it's popular for some reason. Some shows last longer than others. Like, I would have thought Bob's Burgers would have like gone out after a couple seasons, but it's still going on. And good for it. I tried to watch The Office the other day, and I just did not find it funny. Like, I saw why it was supposed to be funny, but through a few episodes, I was just like, this is not something I want to watch 200 episodes of. Like, I just don't. And I know some people love that show, and I love Steve Carell. He's funny in most of the stuff he's in, and he's funny in the show, but everyone else just kind of doesn't do it for me. And I don't know. Another show that's, I don't know if he wrote it or what, Steve Carell's involved in it, is Indy Tribeca, the kind of spoof cop show. And I love that show. And I don't think it's getting a 5th season or 4th season. I don't even know how many seasons there are. I'm surprised. Oh, The Simpsons has been going on forever. That's all on Disney Plus too, like all 30 seasons. What was your least favorite SpongeBob? Well, that's hard to say because they started to really go down in quality after like season 5 or so. I think there actually are some fairly good newer ones. I know a lot of people kind of gave up on it. A lot of people gave up on SpongeBob after season 3 and after the movie. I actually thought it had some okay moments after that, but I'm not going to go that far as to say it was great. But there's also a lot of crap after season 4 than in season 4. So as far as like some of the older ones that I actually watch more often, God, there were some dumb ones. The one where he's tying his shoes, like I don't know why that needed to be a whole episode. Or he forgets how to tie his shoes. Like, I thought the pickles thing was funny enough with that. Like, I feel like him forgetting how to tie his shoes wasn't really funny. Him forgetting how to make a Krabby Patty was funny. And actually, the hibernation episode outside of the part where, you know, I'm Dirty Dan, who you calling Pinhead? Like, that part was funny, but the rest of it just kind of was weird. I gave up on SpongeBob after season 2, actually. See, I'm not even sure what season was which, but I know season 3 was kind of short, but it had some good episodes. Generally, season 1 through 3 are the best. There are some other ones that I think were pretty funny after the fact, but I don't know. The characters became too much of a parody themselves. I think what they had with the first 2 seasons was kind of them still finding it, and that's what made it interesting. And then after that, they kind of said, like, okay, this character's this character's that, this character's that, and it just kind of got very boring after a while. So, oh, my least favorite. It's the one where he procrastinates for the whole episode. And like, I get that it's funny, but it literally was an episode about not knowing what to do. It was like, okay, I got to write this paper, and he writes the word "the" for like 10 minutes. Like, it just, okay, it was funny, but it just, I don't know. Some of the plots didn't go anywhere to me, or they focused too much on one thing, like the secret box. Like a whole episode about seeing what's in the secret box. Oh, pull the string on the box. It was like, why is this a whole episode? So there's a lot of examples of that, even in the early ones, where it's like too much time spent on a simple premise, I thought. Which, I mean, I guess, even as a kid, it didn't entertain me. The Valentine's Day episode was just kind of alright. I mean, I don't know. Patrick, for as much as I love him, has some moments where it's just almost too stupid. But I could say that about The Simpsons. Like, they made Homer, like, too stupid, where it's like, okay, it's not funny anymore. Like, at least before, when he'd say some random stuff, he'd be like, that's funny. But now it's like, okay, now Homer's, like, just clinically, like, insane. But, I don't know. Alright, I'm getting close to wrapping it up here. It's been over 2 hours now, and don't know really what else to say that hasn't been said already. I'm excited for what's to come, but well, it's been nice to chat with some of my buddies from different areas, and hopefully I'll have more to talk about in June when things will maybe be open, and not much sports going on, not anything really going on. So unless anybody has any other questions, I will probably end this. Enjoying everybody's contributions today on Net Gains Episode 2. And like I said, June 5th will be the next episode of this. But of course, I'll be streaming on Twitch a bunch. And Retro Request Party is on Sunday. So check that out. That is on twitch.tv/chaosblur. Or just do chaosblur search. Can't be that many. And other than that, I say as I stream almost every day now. Other than that, I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. I appreciate you checking in. Stay tuned to more things, and I will see you